But then I realized, like, I'm just kind of filling myself with poison right now because I'm fearing what already happened or I have anxiety about it. Like, what is that helping me now or in the future? Nothing. It's just kind of wasting my time, really, where I could be focusing myself on whatever's at hand, you know?
Yeah. To be better, make it better.
Yeah. Just don't focus on the past. Don't worry about the future. Just do you now.
Welcome back to Keep It Good. I'm your host, Emily.
And I'm your host, Carly.
So last week we talked about the never-ending game of keeping your house clean and facing the fact that you will never win that game.
But there is an area that you can clean that you have a little bit more control over, and that is your mind. So today's episode is all about cleansing your inner space. My mind is nuts. I have 5,000 things going on, and it could be really hard some days to kind of prioritize. But what do you do to kind of help yourself?
My morning routine is helpful. Kind of start the day off right, but for me, I would say exercise. And I do that, I try to do that most mornings. So that's probably my biggest mind clearer, if you will. What about you?
That's perfect. Me, like I said, I do yoga, I do journaling sometimes just to even jot my things down. But we wanted to kind of dive into a few things that could help you as moms, right, Emily? We're literally prioritizing everybody else's life. So we are the calendar in the mind. It's just loaded and cluttered. So these are some things that really help you kind of regroup and move on to your clear path.
I love that.
Yeah, so yoga for me. Yoga is so incredible cuz not only are you like you're giving yourself some time to kind of have no noise, like no,
Yes.
not just nothing. It's your time. But I don't think a lot of people realize what the benefits are to yoga. First off, I mean, you'll build flexibility and strength, and who doesn't need that, right?
Yeah.
But it can help with pain. It can help with your immune system, your cardiovascular health, like your circulation, all of that. It decreases stress and inflammation, which who loves inflammation? No
Yeah.
one. um, but most importantly, it helps with anxiety. You do that breath work. You're kind of, really getting into that mindful state of being and just focusing on the present mood, like, just in general. But it will help increase your mood. It helps with your memory, your intention, your focus, sleep, and your digestion. So, yeah, there's physical benefits to yoga, but mentally, oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's just an incredible practice that I think more people should kind of get into.
Well, I also think it's nice because it is something that you can do at home. You don't have to
Mhm.
be at a studio, which is incredible to also do it with other people because there's just a vibe in the room that you cannot emulate at home by yourself necessarily. I'm only practicing about once a week, but I do a long class and it is my time. And the kids know that. My husband knows that. I am going downstairs and I am doing yoga. It's magic. It really
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, it is. And you could put on Zen music, you can do whatever you want. But the great thing about it is all you have to invest is a mat, which you can find at TJ Maxx. You're using your body, you're using resistance or, stretching, flexibility, all these things. It's just incredible.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. And there's all different kinds of yoga, right? So even if it's for
mhm.
10 minutes at night and you're doing a restorative practice or, the apps that I have, there's all different kinds and all different time limits and you can get out of it really what you want. Do you want it to be hard? Like do you need to
Yeah.
stretch or it
Yeah.
it's quite
There's
incredible.
even chair yoga for
Right.
those who aren't flexible or can't do the certain moves. It's just stretching and being connected to your body on a different
Mhm.
level, and it really does quiet your brain. It slows everything down, and the hardest part is just getting yourself to the mat. Once you're on the mat, you just lose yourself, and you're like, "Oh my god, this feels so good.
A lot of
So
people
good."
too get very emotional when they do yoga because I think
Mhm.
their mind does get quiet and it doesn't have to be like you're crying because you're sad during yoga. It could be that. But I feel like it just unlocks so many things. And I know many people who have cried through their whole yoga session. um,
It can release serotonin, endorphins, like all these things
yeah,
that is just stored up in your body. And now you just have this flood of these chemicals that are good chemicals for your body,
yeah,
but they're just stuck. So, I mean, that's just one of the things that if you've never tried it, maybe try some chair yoga first or just some slow flow restorative. It's just there's no bad way to do yoga.
right. Your practice is your practice. Like how you do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, let's say that you tried yoga and it's just not your thing. You don't like it. Even just walking is another awesome tool to clear your mind. Do you walk?
Yes, I love to walk. I walk whenever I can, even if it's for 20 minutes. I
Mhm.
have a wonderful neighborhood for that. So,
Yeah, you do.
lucky for me, I don't have to go to a trail or anything necessarily, which I also do enjoy. But I'm really lucky. And our neighborhood has a ton of walkers. It's actually like a joke because so
Yeah.
many people walk. Um, but yeah, I love it. How about you?
Yeah. I love walking, just not in the winter. So that's
I
where
mean,
like my other
yeah,
little tools in my toolbox help out because yeah, it's got to be like a beautiful day. I'm not one of those like die hard. I see people running. Running, never. I tried it. I hate it. And then like a few years go by. I try it. I hate it. And then a few
yeah,
years, and I'm like, well, I'm turning 40. Maybe this is the year I'm going to love running. No, it's never the case. I'm not a runner.
yeah. No, I get it.
But
Yeah,
yeah, but I see people running in the rain and I'm like, bravo. Like
yeah,
you
same.
are incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. I could never have that self discipline to be like out in the snow, freezing cold. Those people are like, they blow my mind. They're just incredible human beings, but not
Well,
me. That's
think
not
about it
me.
now too. There's so many people who work from home, and I know people who have the walking desks. Like they have a small, like it's not a full treadmill, but like they stand and they walk while they're working at their desk.
Yeah.
There's so many benefits to it. It's insane. Have you heard
Yeah.
about the walking backwards?
No, I don't know if I could do that.
I know, but there's I guess some evidence or whatever, but of walking backwards can help you keep your knees like really strong and healthy
Oh,
because you're not putting the pressure of like going forward with your weight.
when I was younger, I used to walk up the hills
Mhm.
backwards because
There
it
you
was like
go.
easier. Me and my mom used to do these crazy hills to this twin pond, and it was like 7 hills, right? And it
Yeah.
was just like never ending. And so I would turn around and walk backwards. And yeah, that makes total sense now that you say that.
I've actually never seen anybody do it and I have not not done it, but I think it's interesting.
Yeah, that's something cool to look into. I've
Yeah.
never heard of that.
But I do love
Um,
walking.
oh, I love walking. I mean,
Or hike. You love hiking.
hiking is my jam.
Yeah.
Oh, I
I mean,
love
that's just a good old nature walk.
yeah, and you get so many benefits from being in the
Mhm.
woods, like those negative ions that are emitting from the trees and just you just it's like a spiritual walk
Yeah, the
in through the woods.
sun. Oh.
I just can't wait. Counting down the days until it's warm enough for my body to handle it. But yeah, back to walking. I mean, this is like such an easy little tool that you can use, but it increases the serotonin, the dopamine. These are your feel good hormones. It releases endorphins, which is a natural mood booster. It lowers stress, anxiety, increases blood flow to the brain, which will enhance your cognitive function and memory attention. If you feel like you're in like a writer's block or creativity is just stagnant, it boosts creativity and problem solving. It can help with depression, helps with sleep, just builds a ton of mental resilience. And it's just a healthy outlet. I mean, no one's going to tell you that walking is bad. I've not heard one, unless you're clumsy and you trip on a stick, then that's on you. But, I mean, that's just a very simple way, and it does. It just kinda gets gets your mind thinking onto other things, and when you have less stress and anxiety, you have less of those panic thoughts, that
Right.
that just adds to the clutter and unnecessary thinking that will just kind of cloud your judgment throughout the day.
Yeah, I totally agree. Because you're taking, again, a little second for yourself, even if it's only 20 minutes, and you get to clear your brain a little bit so you can go on with the rest of the day or,
Mhm.
you
Yeah,
know.
it's like multitasking. You're helping
Mhm.
your brain, you're helping your body, you're helping your mood, helping your sleep later in the day. It's just
Mhm.
like an all around awesome little thing that we take for granted. What about meditation? Have you ever meditated?
I have, and, like, I have a couple times through the years, but not where I feel like I have a practice of it. I have a really hard time shutting my mind off and doing it what I consider well. I don't know if there's a right or wrong way to really do it, but, I have the Peloton app, and sometimes after a workout, they have 5-minute meditations even, and sometimes that's even hard for me to do. Like, I cannot even shut my brain off for 5 minutes, but, they kind of walk you through it. They direct you and tell you how to get into, hopefully, a meditative state, but, yeah, it just depends, and I don't do it as often as I probably should, but, um,
Yeah. I mean, I'm not an avid. I don't do it all the time, but when I do, I really do feel the benefit of it. You're just in a completely different state of mind when you finish. And some people are like, "Well, how do you just like sit in a room and not like think?" No, there's apps, you can go on YouTube, there's guided meditations. I mean, there's so many options out there. But again, this is just a simple tool. You don't need to buy anything.
right.
You can sit on your bed, you can sit on the floor, you can sit at your desk at work. Put on the YouTube of guided meditation on your lunch break, and all of a sudden, like, you just feel the stress just lift, And I mean, there's all different meditations. You can do a manifestation meditation where you're just like focusing on your goals and what you want. And it's just so cool. It's just so cool. And it's another thing that like people kind of overlook, I think, because you think of it as one specific thing, but it's not. It could be any meditation that works for you. It's just like giving yourself a mantra, which is important because I think mantras just kind of guide your life. It gives you a positive thing to kind of work towards. And yeah, it's just cool. So if you've never done meditation, just look up the app, and let them kind of talk you through it. It's just listening to the instructions and following what you're supposed to be doing, and all of a sudden you're done, and you're like, I just did it.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised at how easy it can be.
I have done it via app as well, nighttime. So, like,
Hmm.
to put yourself to sleep, basically.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how long they are. I think they range from 15 to 30 minutes, and they have you lay down and be comfy and start breathing.
Hmm.
They talk you through the breath work, and then they start to kind of guide you through. And I think that has been probably the closest I've ever had to a complete meditation because it has helped me fall asleep, but just relax, mind and body.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It's so cool. What about journaling? Do you ever journal?
Journaling, I have, for 2 days. Like, nothing ever became of that. Let's just say that. But, so no, I'm not. I know that it can be really good, but no. Nope, not a journaler. How about you?
Yeah, see, I'm not the one where it's like, "Oh my god, so today Steve got me," like, I'm not, like, writing, like we would if we were teenagers, right? Because I think that's
Like a
what a lot of
diary.
people. Yeah, a lot of people think that's what journaling is, like, "Dear diary, today I got my period, and it's really sucks," and, you know no, that's not it. Journaling can be different, and you can make it however you want. It's another form of just it's brain dumping,
Right,
right?
you're just writing what comes to mind. Doesn't have
Yeah.
to be a short story.
Yeah, it doesn't even have to make sense.
Right.
Like, for me, if somebody opened my notebook, I'd be like, "Who the fuck is this girl? We need to get her some help because she is just writing craziness." But it's all my ideas. Like, my brain doesn't stop thinking, and I just have, like, a million ideas for all these different projects, or just my to-do list, like I have to, oh, remind myself next Tuesday's parent teacher conference, or, like just anything, whatever's in my brain at that moment, I just kind of throw it to the paper,
Okay.
so that it's out of my brain onto the paper. And if I need to, I can look at it and I can remember, what needs to be done throughout the week. But it's not, I'm clearing out that space in my brain so that I have room for better things.
Yeah. So it's not like necessarily a to-do list. But you
Yeah,
put like your
no.
things to do
Yeah.
in there.
It's
Okay.
just my whole life on this page, at times.
Yeah.
Like, I need to buy bananas. I don't want to hold on to that thought. Who cares? Like, why am I going to hold up space in my brain for bananas when I could be just thinking of something so much cooler? So you just have to kind of think of it like, okay, oh, this thought came in. Let me write it down. So then it's out of my brain and I have room for better things?
So you're not doing
And
like a 20-minute, like, oh, every morning I
yeah, no,
spend 20 minutes.
no, 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 no. This is just like throughout the day, throughout the life. Like,
Okay.
you're just kind of like jotting things down as you go. And it really helped me just kind of make space
Yeah.
and eliminate all that junk that's just hanging out. It could just be something like, oh, oil change next Wednesday. I don't care. I know it needs to be done, but I'm not going to hold it in my brain anymore. I'm going to put on my paper so that I know it's there. I'm not going to forget. And it also, I mean, you could get into depth with it, and sometimes I have, and I've released a lot of my emotions or my thoughts. It's helped me get to the deeper root of what I'm stressed about. And it can really, the coolest part about it is when you get it off your brain and onto the paper, it lowers your cortisol, and that's your stress hormone. And we've been hearing a lot of things about, oh, cortisol belly, or like
Right.
menopause and cortisol and all the things, but we don't realize that we hold so much of that with just our thoughts. Like,
Hmm.
our thoughts are the ones that are raising our cortisol levels more than anything. So by just eliminating that, you'll be surprised at how you feel afterwards, by clearing that mind space. It increases your focus too. You can now focus 100% on whatever task you're trying to complete at that time, you know.
Yeah.
You're not trying to multitask all the time, if that makes sense.
Maybe I'll start adding that to my morning routine.
I think you do need to, because I always hear you say like, "Oh, I forgot to do that," or, "Oh, I forgot. I had an idea, but I totally forgot." And I'm
Yeah.
like, "Well, you need to write it down
Those of
so
you
you
that
don't
know me, this is very true.
forget."
I have all good intentions.
I'm gonna buy you a journal.
Yeah, I'm gonna need a new journal for sure. It's so funny though because even my oldest, they like books, they like to draw and like write stuff down, especially my older one because she's learning how to read and write and all that good stuff. And I have found a couple of her little journals, like she writes stuff down like a diary already. And
Oh,
it's just like it's so weird that that's the instinct. I've never told her to like
so
write down her
cute.
thoughts or anything. It's so funny. And I remember doing
That's
that as a kid too. Like Dear Diary. I mean, that's not what she's saying, but it's
yeah.
funny how I'm seeing that even she's doing it. So I should take after my 8-year-old. I should really start doing that.
It's amazing what we learn from our kids. They're like just totally innocent and know how to do certain things that we like overthink, you
Yeah.
know, constantly overthinking things. That's a big one right there too, overthinking.
Mhm.
Like, okay, so this brings me to the point of the past, present, future, right? What is the majority of your thoughts
Ugh.
that you think about? Is it the past, present, or future?
Wow, I've never actually thought about that. I guess future?
Well, let me tell you something, okay? The past already happened. There's no amount of thinking that is going to change whatever happened, right? You can't go back in time. Even if you think of the situation differently, it's not going to happen. It already has been done. So let that fear or anxiety or anything else go. There's nothing you can do to change it. Live with it, own it, move forward, right?
Yeah.
Your future has not happened yet. You're not a fortune teller. You can't make things happen unless you're practicing like manifestation. You can kind of like know that it's coming, but once you put it out there, you just kind of have to forget about it and know that it's happening. You can't overthink it. You can't second guess it. So stop thinking about the past, stop thinking about the future, and just be in the moment. Because before you know it, the future's here and you fucked up the present that you were just at because you weren't appreciating it, you know?
Mhm.
So don't I've been trying very, very hard to be mindful and just live in the present moment,
Yeah,
you
be in the
know?
moment. That's solid advice for sure.
It took me a long time to get to that point. I was more worried about the past.
Okay.
Like, I shouldn't have done this or did that, but then I realized, like, I'm just kind of filling myself with poison right now because I'm fearing what already happened or I have anxiety about it. Like, what is that helping me now or in the future? Nothing. It's just kind of wasting my time, really, where I could be focusing myself on whatever's at hand, you
Yeah.
know?
To be better, make it better.
Yeah. It's just, yeah, don't focus on the past. Don't worry about the future. Just do you now.
Yeah. I
That's all I
always people make fun of me because I never take pictures.
Oh, I love pictures.
I'm the worst. And I've always said, "Well, it's cuz I'm not thinking about that. Like I'm trying to like I'm present in the party we're at or the holiday or whatever." But then after I'm always like, "Oh, darn it, we didn't take any pictures." Like
Yeah.
I do sometimes, but so I like to think that I'm kind of present, but I think my mind is more in the looking to what's next.
Yeah.
And that's probably common because we're just busy. Humans are
Oh,
busy.
absolutely. Yeah.
So
Yeah. We're always looking towards what do we have to finish
we
to
all
get to
have
that?
work to do to keep our mind clean. And these are great tools.
Yeah, it's just hopefully people are less stressed, because
Yes.
I look around and everyone's fucking stressing out. Everyone's got a million things on their plate, but,
Hmm.
like, nobody takes the time to take care of themselves. You have to kinda put yourself first sometimes. Invest in yourself.
Well, and they can be quick too. Like even this, like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm thinking about the future. Okay, nope, take it in what I'm doing right now instead. You know,
Yep.
that takes 2 seconds to turn it around.
Yeah. It makes me kinda sad sometimes because I take a lot of pictures. I'm like the polar opposite of you. I probably should put the camera down and not take so many, but I do. But then I like look back and my kids and I'm like, it feels like yesterday,
Yeah,
and they were just like in their little jammies and all snuggly with their binkies. And those were the times when I was so focused on either the past or the future. I didn't really enjoy that moment.
right.
And now I regret it. As a mom, you're just like, it's time for bed, like da 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 da. But one day it's going to be the last night that they ask for snuggles,
Hmm.
or it's going to be the last night that you get to tuck them in and read to them. And those days are coming up because they're going to be like in the double digits soon. And I'm like, just, oh my God, yes, snuggle with me until you're whatever age. It's probably be weird when they're 18. And I'm like, do you want snuggles? So I'll take it. I will live in the moment for those 5 minutes and just, soak it in. Soak it
Yeah,
in.
yeah.
I don't care that the dishes need to be changed or whatever. No, I'm soaking it in and I'm taking that moment and I'm being present.
I love that. What about grounding?
Oh, I love grounding.
Me
I
too.
love it.
Same, same, same.
Don't talk dirty to me, Emily.
Sorry.
Love it.
No, like, I don't know. I mean, I think we both kind of learned about grounding around the same time, like really the benefits of it. But
Mhm.
then you sent me the documentary and we watched it and we were like, okay, this is like far beyond what
Oh.
we thought grounding was. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, beyond. I mean, I always felt a special feeling being in my garden, being in the dirt. Like,
Yep.
you just feel different. And I never could put my finger on it. I always felt great after yard work or like being at the beach. Who doesn't feel good when they're at the beach?
I know.
If you tell me you don't feel good being at the beach, then you're just a negative Nancy and we should not be hanging out, you
Right.
know?
We are not friends.
Yeah, we're not friends. Oh my God. Like, well, first of all, if you haven't heard of the Earthing movie, it's a documentary. I believe it's free on Amazon Prime if you have that.
Yeah, that's where we watched it. I don't know if it's still on there, but
I
just
know
Google
it's on a
search it, it'll come up.
yeah, yeah, just look it up. It's called The Earthing Movie. You'll see a pair of bare feet in grass. If you see that, that's the one. It's phenomenal, and it made me realize that feeling that I was having at the beach or in my garden, and it's so freaking cool. So listen to this. The earth is negatively charged, right? It just has this like natural negative electrical charge. And our body can kind of build up this positive static electric charge throughout the day without even realizing it. Because if you think about it, back in the day, people would walk around barefoot. There were no shoes, there wasn't anything. So everyone was naturally connected to the earth on a daily basis without even trying. And they were just in this awesome state. So along came the shoes. Now we are disconnected from the earth. We hardly ever walk around barefoot or anything like that. But when you do, they say you should do it for about 30 minutes or more to get the real benefits,
Right.
right? But when you do this, you're neutralizing free radicals in your body. So, free radicals are like crazy molecules that are just like super unstable. They cause destruction to your healthy cells, and that in turn turns to inflammation, disease, all these things. So, when you're basically absorbing the negative electrical charge from the earth, and you're absorbing these electrons, and you're just kind of neutralizing what's going on in your body as you absorb this. So your sleep gets better, your well being gets better, your pain goes down, circulation gets better, your healing is quicker, you're calmer, which leads to less stress. And some people say that they feel energized after. It just fuels you with this awesome energy. So you're probably saying like, oh, 30 minutes or plus, like, is there such a thing as too much? No, there is no such thing as too much. Like, the more you do it, the better you feel. It's addicting because now, like I said in the last one, we're never inside in the summer. We are constantly outside. My nails are never pretty in the summer because I'm just in the dirt. Like, I love it. I want to feel it, touch it, smell it. I'd eat it if I could, but but yeah, I mean, I love it. It just makes me so like it's like a drug. It
Yeah.
just makes me feel so good. But yeah, we're just never inside. We're always outside. And I got my kids doing it. And like I said, my son has ADHD. So when we watch the grounding movie, it talks about in the winter, right? We live in an area where we get a lot of snow. It'd be stupid to walk outside.
We are not going outside and grounding at all for months, honestly, months and months.
Yeah. So we all, and I know your family went all in too,
Mhm.
we got the grounding mattress covers,
Yes.
right? For
Yep.
like, we did it for my sons, for us, and it's so cool. I mean, the only thing you have to watch out is during a thunderstorm, you should probably unplug it. But otherwise,
Good
it,
advice. Solid advice.
yes, salad. Read that warning label. Um, but otherwise, like, it's such a cool feeling. I'll go to bed and I don't know about you, but I feel like tingling in my legs when I'm like laying down. We just replaced it because we've had it for like 2 years.
Yeah,
So I felt like it was,
yeah. That's
yeah.
interesting. We're probably about that too then. Yeah, maybe we should get a new one too.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Well,
felt something the first night. Again,
yeah.
placebo effect, whatever. I felt glorious.
Yeah.
So I was feeling it.
Yeah. And we had gotten it because, first of all, my son, when it talked about ADHD, I was like, oh, sign me up. Another natural thing. Yes, all for it. But my husband also was in a really bad car accident and he really screwed up his back. And he's had back pain ever since. And we've tried all the things, like we've just tried it all. And so we were like, you know what? Why not? Let's try it. His back is so much better. I
Mhm.
mean, it lowers inflammation. It does all the things that I said. I mean, I don't think anything is as beneficial as the real deal.
Yeah. But for
But
us who can't be outside for 8 months or
yeah,
7 months out of the year to put our feet, it's way too cold.
yeah.
Like, are there snow?
Yep, I'm not doing it. I don't even like to walk in the cold, let alone take off my shoes. Yeah, right. Never. But yeah, it's just so cool. And it works so much that we put it in his 504 at school, my son. We actually don't need it anymore. We just took it out this past year, but we would have him go to the grounding mat at the nurse and sit there for 10 minutes and just kind of re-stabilize himself
But that was
because
after recess too, right?
yes.
So, like,
Yep.
after some energy was let out.
Yep.
Okay.
So it was just so cool, and the principal and the teachers were all like, what are you talking about?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, like, everyone needs to know about this. Everyone needs to know about grounding because it's just nature's medicine."
Yeah.
It's
Well,
so
and
cool.
I think it's neat that there's these options for us who, whether you can't get outdoors or you live in a cold area like we do, but they make sheets. There's grounding sheets. So if you don't want to put the mattress pad on there, I've never done the sheets. You guys did, didn't you?
We have the sheets for our bed, and then we use the pad for the boys, but they also make, like, pads that you could just while you're at work,
Right.
sitting,
Just put your feet on.
typing. Yeah, you just take your shoes off, put them on this mat, and wow, I mean, it's just so cool. It is so cool. So, yeah, grounding is like I mean, if you only practice one thing out of this, little box of tools, do the grounding. You won't regret it.
Yeah. So I don't know if we've said this yet, but like it has to be like grass, woods, sand, dirt, because I love to be barefoot, especially when it's warm out. And I was like, oh my God, I'm just grounding all the time. This is so crazy. I love to be barefoot. And then I was like, oh, not like on my patio or like not on my driveway.
Well,
Right?
they say sometimes you can be on concrete, but it shouldn't be, like, treated with a chemical
Right.
or painted. Then it won't really
You're
give
going to
you
get the full experience if your feet are actually
yeah,
on the ground. Like,
on the sand,
yeah.
on the grass, even if you're just swimming in a body of water,
Oh, yeah.
not a pool, clearly.
Right. The ocean, pond, lake, yeah. And it does, it feels so good. You do, and if you know this now, the experience is 10 times better.
Yeah, you're gonna have a phenomenal summer. But one thing I did start doing with my kids, I forgot to say this when we were talking about journaling, is in the morning, right before school, usually we have a little lag time, right? And I would let them like watch, something on TV, whatever. I noticed that this would kind of hype up their energy in the worst possible way. It wasn't doing anything to kind of help them set a positive day for themselves. And it led to a lot of fighting, a lot of like, I don't want to watch this. You're going to watch, and it was just like, enough. Oh my God. So the last 10 minutes before we leave for school, we started doing this little journaling prompt, which already is making a big difference, I think. So I have them write how they want their day to go, ways that you can make this happen, like, so they'll list like 3 things that they can do that day to make this goal happen today. Then they write any fears or concerns that they have for the day. I'm nervous about this or whatever. And we kind of talk about it and then we find a solution. Then I have them write 5 things that they like about themselves. I'm smart, I'm fast, I'm whatever. 5 things that they're grateful for. And then 3 things that they can kind of work on for that day, like share more or raise your hand more, like whatever it is. I mean, little kids come up with the funniest things, but
Right.
like today my son made a mission. He wrote down his goal. And then I just got a picture from my friend that he just won a little possum award at school. And I was like, "Oh my god, like this is so exciting." I can't wait to praise him when he gets home
Yes.
because he
Celebrate
stuck to the
him.
plan. And I
Yeah.
just think like not even for kids, I'm going to start doing this with myself too because I
Yes.
think it's great to kind of set yourself up with a goal. Identify the ways that you can get that goal. Think of things you like about yourself. Stop picking
Mhm.
yourself apart. And like I said, I always talk about what I'm grateful for first thing in the morning, but it's just a good reminder to,
Right. Well,
you
and
know,
for them, they're clearing out their mind now, of maybe some junk before their day starts.
yeah. And I tell you, the transition from that to going out the door to getting to school, it was so much better. I mean, usually we have a lot of issues like in that short time frame,
Yeah.
but it was a nice little change. Even once a week, like what
Right.
is your goal for this week? What are
Yeah.
you going to do to accomplish it? Set yourself up for success.
I love it. That's fantastic.
Mm.
Hopefully, you guys can try some of these and just kind of clear that mind.
Yep. And remember, stop thinking about the past, stop thinking about the future, focus on today.
Absolutely.
So, you have a little quote for us,
I sure
Miss
do.
Emily?
A cluttered mind will never lead you to a clear path. And that is by Christina Scalise.
I love that.
Hmm.
You want a clear path? Get rid of that clutter. Hope you guys have a great week. As always, keep it good.